this is Hales here with your last art lesson related to our colonial art unit, or art made in America from about 1600 to about 1800 or 1775. Today we're going to look at Native American symbols that were used on all different kinds of things that Native Americans made: jewelry, pottery, clothing, things like that. And those symbols have meaning, just like in America today. Some of our symbols have meaning. Like if you saw a stop sign and you didn't see the word stop written on it, you would know that that red octagon means stop. So that's an example of how a symbol has meaning. So let's take a look at some commonly used Native American symbols. Now, we know that there were hundreds of tribes of Native Americans in this country, and these symbols are not attributed to any one tribe. So some of the symbols may be from, the Pueblo Indians out west, and some of them may be from Eastern Woodlands Indians, on the east, like closer to Virginia. But for our purposes today, we're just going to look at them all as a big group of symbols that you guys can use to make your pendants. So we're going to look at these symbols, and you're going to pick out some that have meaning for you, or that you could make a phrase or a sentence that would have meaning for you by incorporating 2 or 3 symbols or 4 symbols. And then you're going to use them either on a square shaped pendant or a circle shaped pendant to create some artwork of your own. All right, let's take supplies you're going to need today include about a 2-inch circle that you can trace something round like a lid at your school or at your house from. You can use a circle or a square. So a 2-inch circle or a 2.5-inch square. You need white cardstock or thick paper cardboard or oak tag or railroad board. If you don't have white, that's okay, because we're going to color these silver or turquoise. So something that you could put silver or turquoise paint or crayon or colored pencil over. You need a pencil, an eraser, and a Sharpie. And you'll need a pair of scissors if you have to cut out your circle or shape squares. You may need a hole punch, although I'm going to show you how to poke a hole just as well with a sharp pencil. So that's what you need today. Let's look at some inspiration. Let's take a look at how Native Americans used some of these symbols. Here you see a sterling silver ring with a little mountain shape and then kind of a pointed oval shape. And these shapes are stamped over and over again, so they're repeated to create a pattern. This bowl was made by Eastern Woodlands Native Americans, and it is carved into with kind of triangular shapes that are the symbol for mountain. And the little black and white checkerboard thing on the left tells us that each one of those little squares is a centimeter. So that tells you about how big the bowl is. It's called scale. Now, we can also see the scale of these earrings when we look at our centimeter measuring stick over to the right. These earrings don't have anything carved or stamped into them, but the shape of them is a symbol that means sun or moon. Here we have an Eastern Woodlands woven basket. And this basket has a diamond pattern in it. And if I look at my symbol dictionary page, I know that a diamond with a smaller shape in the middle of it symbolizes the Great Spirit or wisdom. In this pendant, you can see that cutouts and stamps were used to combine a bunch of different symbols. Here we have a belt or a sash that also combines different symbols. So you're ready to make your pendant. You're going to trace a circle or cut out a square from white cardboard or some kind of thicker, stiffer paper like cardstock. I measured 2 inches on my ruler down in 2 places, and then I connected those dots with my ruler to make a 2-inch square. So you can make a square or a round pendant or both. Then you want to cut out your pendant. I'm going to go ahead and cut both of mine out. And now you want to punch a hole close to the edge, but not so close to the edge that your yarn or your string is going to pull through. You want to leave maybe a pinky's finger width, or I don't know. a little bit of distance. You can use a hole punch, or you can use a very sharp pencil to punch a hole, whatever you have handy. Now it's time to think about your design. So on a square piece of paper or pendant shape, you're going to have very different space to work with than you will on your round picture. I am going to, I looked at my symbol dictionary and I picked out some symbols that are meaningful for me. So I picked a symbol that means peace, and I picked a sun and a moon, which means I think we need peace day and night. Important that you go over your pencil lines with Sharpie so that when you color over them with silver or turquoise, the symbols show up. On a circular shape pendant, you'll have an opportunity to do a radial design. Well, you could do that kind of design on a square pendant too, but it just fits better with a circular shape pendant. What that means is you'll have a design that starts in, you could have a design that starts in the middle and radiates its way out. So here I have a mountain range and some suns in the middle. I'm going to color my necklace or my pendant silver with my silver crayon or a silver color pencil or a silver marker, whatever you have. And then I'm going to tie my string through. I'm going to divide my string in half and pinch it at the halfway point. And then I'm going to push both of those like legs, or push that center part through my hole together. I'm going to pull both of my strings through that hole or that shape, and then I'm going to tighten it down on the end of my pendant. And then I'm going to tie a little knot in the end. It hangs flat when you do it like this. If you just push one of the strings through, your pendant will never hang flat. It'll always want to flip around. I kept both of my strings together and tied them through a knot at the end. And then when I measured this string, it was 24 inches. So if I have a 24-inch loop, that should fit over everybody's head. I hope you enjoy making your Native American pendant using some authentic symbols. And I will leave you with 2 pages or like a symbol dictionary. So freeze this next slide or screen and get to work. I'll see you next time, boys and girls.